First off, I'd like to congratulate you two on holding it together through your speeches. Very impressed, and I will try to do the same. My name is Ben. I used to live down the road from Rowan, on the same street as Alex and Rowan, and went to high school together, and almost every day after high school, we'd walk up the hill, and being the lazy teenage boys that we were, stop off at my house because it was lowest on the hill, and spend the next several hours playing video games, talking ridiculous would-you-rather questions, and just one of my favorites was, what would you do if a raging orangutan burst through that wall right now? The answer was apparently to throw books at it. So if that ever happens to you, throw books at it. Rome was a big part of my life then, and after I went to university, and he went to university, and our sort of conversations became fewer and farther between, but all the more powerful. Whenever you were with Rowan, you go and you catch up with a friend, and you spend half the time sort of listening to what they're saying, and then most of the time talking about what you're doing. Yeah. Well, he doesn't like that. He was the most engaged person. Even if you're just talking about what you had for lunch yesterday, he honestly wanted to ask you, why did you have that for lunch? Why that though? And how was it? And describe it to me. And the most mundane things, he had this excitement and energy for, which I really admire. Anyway, one thing that sort of the friends and I have been trying to figure out over the last few days is what do we do now? How do we deal with this? What does dealing with this look like? And I sought some advice about this, and what I got was that, and I think this is very fitting for Rowan, is that we try and learn from him and take something from him forward. And I think that's the best way that we can respect him and remember him, is to learn from him and take some of those qualities that we really admired about him and try and emulate them. So that's what I'm just going to list a couple of them that I'm going to try and do myself to best remember him. So I've already mentioned one, but question everything. Absolutely everything. Take nothing for granted. Always question. This is going to drop. You'd question that. You'd question absolutely everything and look for answers everywhere. And he never judged anyone for anything. You could say absolutely anything to him, and he'd listen and he'd try to think about it and try and understand it from your point of view, and I think that was really beautiful. There's a few others, and I'll try not to take too long, but one of the other main ones is that you should never be afraid to laugh at yourself. Rowan was excellent at doing that. He was excellent at being able to take any joke, no matter how awful it seemed at the time. He was, and with such energy and exuberance for the interaction, for talking to people, for being there for people, for helping people, and I just like to try and emulate some of that in myself for the rest of my life. And I think that no one's really gone until they stop having an effect on our lives, on the people they leave behind, and that'll never happen for Rowan. So I miss you a lot.